Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Don't take yourself for granted. And what do I mean by that? Often we forget that, we can go into this sort of in our bubble, me, myself, and you can sort of be very sort of in something, if you know what I mean. That it's like, let's say, if you, it can be like your situation, or it can be a conflict with a person or somebody, or it can be that you are very, it's like you just, you can't see things because you're so zoomed in, zoom out, and what do I mean by that? Because then you start seeing the thing or the situation, or your thyself from a higher perspective, and when you do that, when you have that, when you see it through that lens, everything can change. And this is also about, self-realization, and connecting to your divinity. Are you connected to your divinity? I always ask this in my videos, but the thing is, when you zoom out, you start realizing your own power, and also in a way that you can sort of, you can see, let's say, if you zoom out and you have this higher perspective, you can see yourself from a distance, and that's like, I believe it's very important to do so, because then you realize that you are here now. We are here, we are living here now. You're here now with your breathing. You're in the, you are more present when you start doing this, and this is everything. I'm working with that myself, being more in the moment, in the to be really present here and now. Because when you zoom out, you can also, you can, firstly, you can see yourself from a higher perspective. You can have more compassion with yourself. You're not judging thyself, and you can forgive yourself. Let's say if you have been very sort of or if something you regret, and you carry this all the time, it's not good for you. You have to release it. You have to accept it, and but you also have to forgive it thyself. I believe it's very important to forgive thyself. But in this process, you also can see other from the higher perspective. When you are in your, when you see thyself from a higher perspective, you can also see others from a higher perspective. And that is like, let's say if you walk in the streets and you, let's say, just which, let's say, as an example, let's say you can see like a drug addict, very very you can see a person sort of harming, you can, yeah, it's him or herself, in a way that it's, you can just see that they're very sort of addictive, so they're very self-destructive, and it's very, yeah, it's very it's not nice to see. It's very, you can feel their suffering in a way, because if you have a lot of empathy, you can feel their suffering. But at the same time, when you do that, it's also that you can see them from a higher perspective. You can see the divinity with it in them, and this is, I believe this is so it's very, it's very good to do so, because yeah, you zoom out, and you see also other from this higher perspective. You're not like judging them, you're not, you can just feel that you have compassion with them, and it can be this can be for many situation people, and I do also believe that we all have, for the first it's very good to have this sort of self-love, because when you zoom out you can see yourself from a distance, from higher perspective. You can also see yourself, you can honor your, is like give yourself self-love, which I believe is very important, because when you have self-love you can also have this for other, but it always have to, you have to start with yourself, because you are the what shall I say, cause, you are the creator of your life, and people you meet, this can affect people you meet in a good way, in a positive way, when you see yourself from a high perspective, because then you automatically also will see other from a high perspective, and you will have more like empathy, compassion. You will have this but I'm not also please also not forget to, you can also be do not be, you can also, some people also can be sort of too helpful in all trying to fix other people's life, let's say if a person is very self-destructive, that person also have to realize that they have a problem, they have to discover this within themselves, and they also need to see they have to make changes, you can't, it's not your job to save them, they have to save themselves, but I just wanted to say is that when you zoom out, you also have this lens that you can see people from higher perspective, all different people, in life situations. Maybe other people are struggling with things or whatever, but you can have compassion with them, and you can, and I believe this is also good for humanity, but at the same time, don't forget that you can't, because you can't take other people's suffering, because, and this is about the self-love again, that you have to have compassion with yourself. You have to not let other people drag you down, it's not your job, but you can have compassion with them, and you can pray for them, and you can have love for them, and all these things, this is, but they have to realize themselves, if it's something they have to do. You can't carry that sort of weight, their weight, but the whole thing about the video was that it's like my divine download. The first thing was like, never take yourself for granted. Don't take yourself for granted. And what I mean by that is that it's like you are here now. You are breathing now. You're pulsing. Your heart is pulsing. Your blood is pulsing. You're so alive, and you never forget this. It's a gift that you are here and now, and also this can also maybe help finding your path, if you think like this, that you have and use your gifts, because I do believe we all have gifts, we all have gifts within us, special gifts to share or to evolve and to use, in this lifetime. And but please don't forget, because the thing about what I was thinking about is that also sometimes I can see that within myself too, that sometimes I can be so in a bubble, like let's say if I have a conflict with somebody, or if I am in a situation, or or I can also see other people, like complaining about things which is really not things to complain about. It's very small. It's not like a problem. Of course they can see it as a problem, but this is where I want you to zoom out, because it's like, oh, they should have this and that before they can sort of be happy, or they think they need this and that, they need something. But you are here now, you are alive, you if you are, you can sit with yourself and zoom out and be present in the moment, You have everything within you, you know. You have everything here and now. Don't forget that. You have everything here and now. It's because so many people forget this, that it's like, and this is where I want you to zoom out and see yourself from a distance, because then you can see your value, you know. And you give yourself self-love. It's very important to have self-love, you know. So em- embrace yourself and your gifts and your talents, and but also your presence, you know. Just be present and value your presence, you know. Value your presence. Never take yourself for granted, and zoom out, and because you see yourself from a higher perspective, you're here now, you're alive, you know. You're not, you don't need anything that you think you need, you know, if you think like this, you know, because I believe this will also make you more present, you know. And this is something I also work with myself, because I can also be very much, yeah, in my thoughts, and have this sort of but yeah. So this was just my thoughts for today. And it's never too late to change either. If you want to change something within thyself, or if you want to do things, you know, it's always different possibilities out there, you know. It's always things, yeah, for you can do. And so we never forget, we all have different gifts, you know. So zoom out. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.